Hi, Amy.
Abby,
We just watched 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, Season 7, Episode 5. Did
I
you enjoy
found
it?
I found it pretty apt that the title of the episode was A Dog's Breakfast. Very, very reflective, I think. There was a lot of irritation on my part. I was very irritated while watching it, and it was just very dramatic, but not in like a fun tea sipping kind of way. Just like almost like another filler episode.
Almost. But there was some substance. We
Hmm.
were delving into the emotions and backstories of a few characters, and it seemed like everybody was starting to talk about something that really is significant in their relationship.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
It was kind of like a psychological episode.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. That's
All
a
right.
fair assessment. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you saw a lot more positive in it than I did, but I also feel like crap, so that's probably not helping with my assessment.
Probably not.
But whatever.
We'll soldier on. And as we get going, let me first do the 1 2 1, rate, review, and follow us wherever you listen to the podcast. 2, watch us on YouTube at 90 Day Fiancé Honestly. Let's begin.
Okay.
Greta and Matthew. First of all, I have to say, I love a man who cleans. The fact that Matthew was cleaning the house to get ready for Greta, I thought was superb.
And not just cleaning, like he was dusting the top of the picture frames and, dusting the globe. I want to call it a statue. Like that was a lot more than, just doing the dishes or the laundry or, it was just a lot more involved.
Right.
I say this looking at my lamp that is covered in dust. Perhaps he can come to my place and do that too.
Well, despite his efforts, things do not go so well for these two.
Mm-mm.
And I think it all started for me when she arrives in Market Harborough after she's taken the train all the way from London. Had to look up where this place is. It's
How far
sort of
was it?
central England, on par with Birmingham, but a little bit more to the east. So not quite the center of England.
But how long was the train? Do you know?
No idea. Probably a couple of hours, I would imagine. But the thing started to fall apart for me at this stage when she arrives, and one of his first comments to her is how badly she stinks. And okay, this is a fair observation. There could be a nicer way to say it, and it doesn't really need repeating more than once. But he
Yes.
did.
You could have just been, "Oh, we gotta get you in the shower when we get home."
Yeah. He remarked on it several times,
Mhm.
and it made me increasingly uncomfortable for her the more he said it.
Can you imagine how, what is that? Oh god. No, we're playing this game again. Self-conscious she would be. She's already uncomfortable walking into his parents' place knowing that he didn't get them an apartment before she showed up, and now she's gonna walk in there. Are they gonna be able to smell her? How quickly can she get into the shower? Just not the most welcoming situation and just so rude.
Yes. I I was really taken aback by it. I thought that they had a relationship that was very gentle, and I'm thinking perhaps that they have a level of honesty that borders on cruelty from his side at least. We don't know. We haven't seen the same in reverse yet, but just the way that he said that many times,
Uh-huh.
I found to be a bit of a red flag.
A
And
bit.
now I am worried for Greta quite a bit.
Yes. And then when they get to his place, she's like, "Oh, can I start unpacking?" And he's like, "All the drawers with the G on it are for you." And yet they're full.
Yeah. So why bother putting a G on the drawers if you didn't empty them,
Uh-huh.
Matthew?
Well, I didn't think there was anything in them. Yes, but in order to check, you have to, open the drawer. You just arbitrarily put a bunch of G's on it and then thinking that 3 drawers and 20 hangers was enough. Like, how did you make that assessment?
I know. The way that he just very dismissively brushed aside a few of his clothes, even though they take up 99% of the rack that is the clothing rack, and said, "Oh, that should be enough space for her." I thought that is also worrisome. Why are you not editing your clothes and putting some of your things away so that the rack itself is now half empty so that she can put her things there? I
Yeah, and the
I'm
fact that
just confused.
The way that he was going through that drawer and he's like, "Oh yeah, this is mine and this is mine and that's mine." Well, whose else's would it be? And also, don't you wanna do things a little quicker? Like, I appreciated the fact that she suggested, throw it all in a bag and then sort through it later. I thought that was reasonable. But I mean, come on, man. He's not setting up her arrival to be the most loving and welcoming.
Not at all. I really felt for her. I mean, there were two things going on, I think. And one is Greta is at the end of her rope as far as being tired from such a long journey.
Mhm.
And then the emotional exhaustion of she's left her cat, she's moving permanently now. Her boyfriend immediately tells her that she stinks several times, and then she goes and finds that, in fact, the space that he promised to make for her in this one room that you'll be sharing rather than your own apartment isn't really substantial at all, and she will have to live out of her suitcases for some unknown period of time. So, two kinds of tiredness set in straight away, and you can see her fuse is very, very short. Her emotions are extremely close to the surface, and she starts to break down once she's realized that she is now reduced to a couple of drawers that are minuscule. I really felt for her.
Yeah, me too. Just that emotional exhaustion from the trip would have been enough. Perhaps even him harping on her smelling would have been enough. And then just to make her feel so unwelcome and dismissed, as you said, I think that was just the perfect combination of situations for her to have a momentary breakdown.
Yeah, but it's completely relatable. She's given up everything. She's in this teeny tiny little space now. This is the only space that she has that she can call her own that is now shared, and she can't even have enough drawers. I really felt the thing that this couple needs more than anything else right now is their own apartment.
Yes.
And this was an enormous oversight on Matthew's part not to get his act together and find them a place to live before she moved.
And what's his plan?
Good
How
question.
long are they gonna be staying at his parents' house for? And it also bothered me. I mean, this is probably for convenience and, location, whatever, space, but he had his whole computer set up in his bedroom, which took up almost as much room as the bed. So, does that mean that he's working from home, or is this a gaming setup, or, like, what does this mean? Because she said when she first arrived that she's not going to have any space of her own. And even the space that she does have, again, is he working from home? Is she going to be able to chill in that room? Is that also where he spends all of his time? Is she going to have any opportunity for either alone time or, I don't know, space for herself?
Yeah, valid questions. I really would like to know if he's working from home or if that is just a gaming setup, because if it is just a gaming setup, bad, bad move, Matthew. If it is his actual workstation, then there's nothing he can do about that. That's perhaps the only space that he can have, which affords him some quietness and privacy during the day so he can work. Either way, this is not a great start, and I am very curious as to why they've portrayed Matthew in this way to us.
Yeah, how is this going to work? And what other personality traits are we going to see come out of him?
Exactly. Shall we read on? Jenny and Sumit are up next. Well, I wanted to know how things were going at the cafe, and very frustratingly, we did not see the cafe, not even for a single solitary second. And this is at the forefront of my mind. All I want to know is how much progress have they made? Is it going to open soon? What does it look like? Did they change their minds again? What's going on? Are they affording it? Did the stuff arrive from the friend who was
Did it
giving them
fit?
appliances? No. Instead, we're going to have a puja, a party at Smith's family home with all kinds of different relatives arriving, even though it has been some time since Jenny and Sumit have moved in, and the puja is ostensibly to celebrate the change in the household, them being there. So whatevs. Okay. And the one big event that seems to be the focus of this episode is that Sadhna's sister definitely has some very strong opinions about Jenny and does not approve of the relationship, nor does she recognize or accept it.
I thought it was her sister-in-law.
I heard them say sister, but yeah, you could be right. I don't know. It was Sumit's aunt.
Yes, yes, yes. I really didn't appreciate how incredibly aggressive she was
Yeah.
towards Jenny and towards Sadhna, like when she actually picked Sadhna up from the ground and practically threw her across the room, her standing over Jenny, shit talking the little flowers the sandflowers that she's making. And what is the purpose of this?
I have no idea. I did not understand this whatsoever. Exactly. It seemed like everybody else who was there was totally fine with Jenny and Sumit. Didn't have anything negative to say about their relationship. It's just this one person. So has she been targeted by the cast as the person who's going to be the instigator? And so therefore she has to play this role? Or is this how she really feels?
Villain game.
Yeah.
And then her saying that a marriage without society's acceptance is unacceptable. Okay, well, who makes that determination? Who makes that assessment?
I don't know because I don't belong to that culture, but as far as I understand, it's generally not acceptable for the wife to be older than the husband, especially with such a big gap. And so they are fair game for being targeted and made fun of.
And ostracized, as we've seen that with Sumit's family before.
Yeah.
Though I really appreciated how Sumit was standing up for his relationship with Jenny and how surprisingly his parents also came to her defense. And Sadhna saying, he's happy, he loves her, that's all that really matters. We've accepted it, why can't you?
Absolutely. It was wonderful to see Sumit stand up for Jenny so, so strongly. And of course he would do because he is the happiest person there about this relationship. And then Sumit's dad, who chimed in first, we've seen him stand up for Jenny and Sumit before, so that wasn't very surprising. But to see Sadhna giving her reasons why this relationship should be accepted was really, really encouraging. Like, it's the first time that I felt that she was feeling good about the relationship, even though in those first opening episodes of this season, you and I have mentioned this, that Sadhna is saying she loves Jenny, but she has this look of pure disgust on her face. So we see the duality of her feelings about Jenny. However, here it was pretty clear. She wants her son to be happy, and his happiness depends on being married to Jenny. So therefore she accepts it. But the sister or aunt, whatever you want to call, she's just a bum. She's a
Yeah.
bum. She says awful, terrible things, and there's no reason for it when everybody else is totally enjoying the day and not making a fuss whatsoever about the couple. So for her to get up and leave was, in a way, it was good. Remove that person from the room. Yes, please. On the other hand, she finds it so disgusting that she can't stay there anymore. Excuse me? What? Why?
I mean, that's on her.
Any other
Like,
comments for yes? No? No. Let's read on then. Let's go to Manon and Anthony. They have been there for a few days now, and Manon has this plan to bring everybody together by going out to play pétanque. Great game. Love this. Again, I was asking questions that were just completely not touched on at all in this episode. How is Anthony doing with learning French? How is his job search going? Is Manon working from home like she said she was going to do? How is she managing that? Do we have the space that we need for her to have her own little office and do work? How much time is she spending doing that? And how much time is she spending with her son? Because that was her chief complaint before. Who's looking after the baby? Nope. Let's not talk about any of that stuff. Let's just go talk about the past.
yes.
What did you make
I
of
really
that?
wish that we didn't have to be exposed to that again. She claims that she's focusing on the positive, and yet I haven't heard her say one positive thing.
I think she did say a positive thing at the end of this. Can't remember what her words were, but she was saying that she was going to be focusing on more of the present and the future rather than dwelling in the past.
I'm not sure I believe that.
Yeah,
But
what Anthony says Manon is dwelling in the past, and this can be an obstacle to their settling into France, to their relationship as well. That, for me, was very revealing of what's going on. I think you and I have also discussed this, that Manon seems to have her own narrative in her mind of how things transpire and how things have been in the past that is actually somewhat removed from reality because she does like to make herself into a victim. So it was really nice to see the parents calmly listening to her make her complaints about how she was raised. They didn't make excuses for themselves. They did apologize, but they also were being fairly level in recognizing that Manon has internalized this. Like, she's the one who makes her life what it is. And so if she decides that everything is crap in her life, then that is probably the outcome she's going to get.
Yes.
So I found them to be supportive.
Sorry, yes. Supportive,
Excellent.
understanding, no deflection. Just, I thought, from their side of things, they handled the conversation really well. Though I also wondered why they needed to have it at the park.
Hmm.
And I also wondered how much Anthony understood because she
Yeah.
wasn't translating for him. Though in the beginning, when she was explaining the rules of the game, she was translating. So is he just sitting there, just, okay?
I guess he doesn't need to know because it's all about her, maybe.
Well, she's probably gonna lose it on him later and yell at him about it, as we've
Mm,
seen before.
yes.
Okay, grow up, Manon.
Anyway, I got the feeling that the parents definitely are here now for Manon in whatever way she needs them, which is fantastic. And I really hope that she appreciates her family and the way that they have grown. Because if there is a way that they treated her in the past that was not good, then obviously that has changed. There has been some progress. And why shouldn't there be? Everybody changes all the time, right?
Mhm.
So if they've become better people and they're able to be more accepting of her weight and not body shame her, then this is all good. This is wonderful stuff. And Manon should lighten up and be present.
And
No?
lean into the support system that she has.
Yes. Shall we read on?
Okay.
Uh-oh. Hesitation.
Oh god, you know how I feel about this couple.
Yes, I know. It's Luke and Madeleine once again. Yay, money, money, money. Shall we talk about what you and I discussed off the podcast last week about the theory
Oh,
of
with the
what is
friend?
Yes.
Yes. So when they were arguing, she actually looked like she was loving it.
Hmm.
And what were we talking about? Something about how her and Madeleine are working in cahoots to siphon Luke's money and
It feels like there might be the potential for that happening because of this person. I can't remember how to say her full name, but I'm calling her Liz because those are the first three letters of her name. If Liz is the wedding planner and the beauty pageant coach slash dressmaker, then these two are pretty close, right? And there's a lot of crossover in the money that Madeleine is giving to Liz in order to make her pageant dresses, to handle her wedding, and possibly also enter her in beauty pageants. So are they working together? Or is Madeleine, as Luke suggested last week, taking money to pay for things that she wants to pay for, like clothes or whatever, when actually it's intended for the wedding?
yeah. Well, she didn't have those ghastly extensions previously, so I wouldn't be surprised if she spent some of the money on those. God, they're just awful. And how is she still eating that jar of Nutella?
Which at one point seemed to be all over her face and her hand.
Mhm.
She actually looked like a toddler who had sat down with a jar of the chocolate sauce and just all over the face, all over the body. Just,
Yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, it was just so gross. I really would have appreciated had they filmed her washing her hands. Yeah, I think that would have made me feel a little better.
Mhm. One more thing that relates back to our theory, which is just that, a theory, that maybe there's some shady business going on in the background, is that every time Liz talks about the money and the wedding, she says, either you're going to pay for everything or it's canceled. There doesn't seem to be a point until the end of this segment of this episode where she says, okay, well, we can cancel this and we can cancel that, and then you're within the budget. But just that extreme black and white. It's either this or it's that. You can't have anything in between.
Yeah.
It seems suspect to me.
Oh, I wonder if her and Madeleine had had a conversation previously, and Madeleine was like, "Whatever you do, don't let him cut anything from the
Okay.
wedding."
Yeah.
So maybe that's why she was taking that position. I also wondered if they'd already paid for the majority of the other things, and it was just a couple remaining things that were left, deposits, I don't know. But I was quite surprised when Madeleine actually did compromise and removed the dancers and the mariachi band. And you could even see Liz when she's like, "Oh, we're removing the mariachi band, aren't we? Okay, what kind of a wedding is this gonna be?"
Mhm.
There was a certain amount of judgment on it. Okay, remove the mariachi band? Question mark.
And we didn't see if there were any other things that they took out of the list. But if those two things cost $1,000 US, I'd be very, very surprised.
Yes.
So it was interesting that they managed to fit within the exact budget that Luke brought with him, which happened to be given to him by his dad at the airport before he came to Colombia. How this all works is very mysterious and weird to me.
And also, why does he need 2 days to get the money? Did his dad did his dad give him cash or did he give him a check?
A check. So he's probably got to
Okay.
take it
Okay,
to the
so that
bank.
makes more
Yeah.
sense. I'm like, why don't you just sign the check over then?
I don't know. It it's just weird. That's all I can come up with to describe it.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. There's definitely something fishy going on. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but I mean, I don't trust Madeleine and I really don't trust her friend even more.
Yeah.
And I think the two of them together are just toxic.
Okay. As usual, we get to see more of Madeleine pouting. She gets really angry, and Luke is going to bed. Remember, he's just come all the way from the States. So this is still his first day. It's been a really long day, and he's exhausted. He wants to go to bed. And she's like, oh, go sleep on the couch. Nice. Nice behavior. It's very attractive.
You just finalized your wedding plans and this is how you're behaving. I mean, I think Liz was on the money when she said you guys really need to work on your union because if you're already fighting about this.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's over budget by $3,000. So you got a pretty good deal, Madeleine. You should be grateful. Jesus.
No.
No. Mm-mm.
Why would she be
Reading
grateful for a damn thing?
reading on?
Sorry. Yes.
Okay. We have Chloe and Johnny who go out to dinner on the beach. Oh, beautiful.
It looks
Oh,
gorgeous. That salad looks so fresh.
I wanted to be there so much. The sand and the ocean and the trees. Oh, it's
And
beautiful.
the warmth.
Yeah, so warm that you can sit out at night and have no sleeves or jackets, long pants. Oh,
I don't think she was wearing her sunscreen today
oh,
or in
oh,
this episode. Did you notice how red she got?
yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
after that beach day, I'm sure. She got a little
Yeah.
bit of a burn. Anyway, here comes the ugly green monster. It's jealousy.
And again, what was the plan? Did you not talk about this beforehand? You knew what he did for a living. That's how you met.
Yeah, this is the most astonishing part for me, that she was fully aware of what his career was when she met him on the pirate boat. And yet now that they're together, she wants him to leave the pirate boat because she can't cope with the idea of him being the object of attraction of other women. It's not even that he's flirting with them, although he may be, whatever. This guy just wants to settle down. He wants to be a family with you. And you have so little trust in him that you can't believe that he's going to work just to earn money and tips, that he's not doing something nefarious on the side.
And how many couples have we seen in the past where, the significant other works in the service industry and then they're like, okay, when we're together, it won't be as big of a deal. And now she's making it an even bigger deal. You can't just appreciate the fact that he's coming home to you every night.
Yeah. She absolutely tries everything that she possibly can in order to try to get him to commit to leave or to leave entirely.
And a
And
timeline.
yeah, she wants a timeline, which goes from 1 year to 2 years. So she's not happy about that. She's trying to get him to take a role on the pirate ship that is less interactive with the guests so that he's not able to. And I'm like, the whole time, it's clear he likes his job. He maybe he even loves his job. But Chloe's immaturity and jealousy does not equal him having to quit his job or turn himself into somebody he is not or take a job that he doesn't love. And she's just not able to get there. She is so young. She is inexperienced. And even though he has proved himself now to be somebody who wants to be mature, settled, adult, whatever word you want to label it with, and just be at home with her. She's got this whole narrative in her mind that is telling her she needs to control him in order for bad things not to happen. She is so insecure that he has to change his career now.
Yes. And he even said, like, he's not going to be changing his entire life for her. And I think that that was a very reasonable response because they've only been together for a year. She's only just arrived. And now she wants him to quit his job, get some other job or something, because apparently there are plenty of jobs in Aruba, so she says.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, well, what about this business that you were talking about starting, which was so incredibly flimsy? He's like, yeah, I'll write a business plan in about a year, but I'd like something to do in the water. I love being in the water. Like, so your current job,
Yes.
like, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And at no point was she like supportive of this to be like, okay, what kind of business in the water? Like, there was no encouragement or anything. It was just quit your job.
Yeah. She wants to be a part of the new business venture, whatever that turns out to be. And I thought it was also quite hilarious the way that he said he just wants to be on the water. I was like, so you're going to be a merman? What exactly are you envisioning this job on the water to be?
Mhm.
Except if it's not almost exactly like what you're doing right now, but on a smaller scale. And then he talks about needing to find investors for the business. And I thought, oh, is this where Chloe comes in? Is she going to bring in the investors either through her own money or her mom or people that she knows? So this will be interesting to see, although given that it's probably 2 years away, it's doubtful that we'll get to actually watch him transition from the pirate ship to whatever the next thing is on the water.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm I'm hoping that she doesn't beat him down to the point where he quits just to appease her. I really hope that he makes the best decision for him no matter what that turns out to be. Because I feel like if he does quit his job and takes one that he's not entirely happy with, is that transition gonna be acceptable to him knowing that this is his opportunity for, Chloe to not be so jealous and then to possibly be able to settle down and actually start your family? Or is there gonna be resentment?
Mm, good old resentment. Well, he did mention that before in a previous relationship, he had, I think, quit his job or changed his job for the sake of his girlfriend, who didn't like the fact that he was flirting with people, much as Chloe doesn't like. So we know that he's already been down that route. I think it's fairly unlikely that he would leave the job like he did before, since he's experienced that and he did not like it. It didn't end well.
And he seems to be fairly level-headed and reasonable with his decisions, and he seems to also learn from his mistakes.
Hmm.
So I have faith that he will do what's best for him. I don't know. Maybe she'll just get so frustrated if he doesn't quit his job that she's just gonna leave and go back to the States.
Don't we have mom coming next week?
Oh,
Isn't
shoot, you're
she
right.
supposed to arrive?
Yeah.
Mm,
1 week.
yes.
Is mom going to berate him and try to convince him to quit his job too? Are they gonna gang up on him?
Oh, I hope not. I hope mom has more sense than that.
I also hope so, but look at the child that she has raised. So I'm not confident.
Okay. Any final thoughts for this week?
Not so much about this week, though with the preview that we get for next week, new couple.
Yay!
She's
New couple.
58.
Yeah.
He's 39,
Was he
30
39?
something. I think
Yes.
so.
He
30
looks
something.
young. Yeah.
Yeah. And they've been together for 12 years.
Mhm.
I'm not mathing that out, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking forward to meeting this new couple. It will be interesting to see what their dynamic is like. And, because they have been together for 12 years, why haven't they gotten engaged yet? Why haven't they moved in together? What's been
Mm.
the delay? Has it been their 20 some odd breakups? That's like almost averaging 2 breakups a year.
I hadn't even thought of it that way. Yes.
12 years, 20 breakups.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
That's a lot of conflict.
it is.
Also, a fair amount of resolution. I mean, if they did continue to get back together, but have they actually resolved anything, or is it just the complacency of getting back together? I'm not sure, but I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
And I also wonder if, because there are so many, like, non-stories, with Sumit and Jenny and Manon and Anthony, are they gonna cut one of the other relationships out, or are we just gonna see less of them in order to make room for the new couple? I mean, we've seen it before where they add on random couples throughout the season, so
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. This is gonna be fresh, new people, new situations. I hope it's good watching. What about you? Last thoughts?
I am also very excited for the new couple. That is all.
Okay.
Hmm.
Good talk. I'm so limited with my brain thoughts today.
No worries. Before we go, if you're enjoying the 90 Day Fiancé Honestly podcast, please subscribe to or give our show a follow. If you have an additional moment, why not rate us and help other 90 Day fans to find our show? Thanks for listening.
Thanks, everyone.
See you next week.